we're ready now for the second quarter to begin. Vikings in control of it. They'll try to attack this deficit starting with 1st and 10. Looking to throw, McCarthy. Oh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up. This one intended for the running back. And we'll see what they do here on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Short pass brought in. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
They come to the line here. This is 3rd and 6. They'll try and pick this up on the ground. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. A dose of the hurry-up offense here.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
McCarthy operating from the pistol. That's complete. Cole Kmet. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Kate, that play's so indicative of why tight ends in this league have become just an X factor. Right, they're big, they can block at the line of scrimmage, but the elite guys, they've got that speed, and they can take something short and make a difference with it down the field.
Defense still reeling from that last play. Now they're defending 1st and goal from the 3. Going power with a big tight end. And he's in for the touchdown. The Vikings fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. Not the position we normally see him lined up in, Bronk, but showing that he can be a pretty good H-back, too, by getting that one to the end zone.
Yeah, and I'm going to say pretty good job by the offensive staff of moving these chess pieces around. That's so critical down in the red zone. Move your pieces around to a favorable position, and you might just get checkmate.
That one right down the middle. And the Vikings get it back to a 14-point game. The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Lone back in the backfield, and they give it to him. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Back to the well again. And he stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. Well, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. They'll run here following the penalty. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw. Going to the ground again on 1st.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. Second down. Working from the gun, Williams. Buys time, rolling right. Pass taken in by Burton. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 23-yard pickup on the play. And that's a Chicago first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
First down throw by Williams. Finds him over the middle. He's got a gain of 6 there. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
Second and 4. Completed to his running back. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with first and goal.
Man, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the first down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
They'll try and punch it in. And the middle holds. They don't get anything on the run. No gain that time, and now it'll be second and goal. They send a receiver in motion right. Now here's Williams. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
They've held him out twice. Here we go. Third and goal. To throw, Williams. Catch is made in close. And in for the Chicago touchdown. Now they'll see if they can tack on one more. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bears stretch their lead to 21. Now Camarda on to send it away. Has this at the 6. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. They're out and set, first and 10. McCarthy to throw it. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
Desperation's a tricky thing, Kate. You love defenses when they're desperate and they're just playing on edge. But offensively, you're in a hole like this, the worst thing you can do is get desperate in a sack. Oh, it only adds further insult to injury.
Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. Another try following the sack. Completed over the middle. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
First down, ball at the 36. Putting a receiver in motion. Throwing on first, it's McCarthy. Finds a seam down the middle. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
And he finds him in the end zone for the Minnesota touchdown. The Vikings chop some of the lead off before the half. Drake London with the touchdown. They're out to try and tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Vikings get it back to a 14-point game. The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 30-yard line.
First and 10 now from the 30. They've got a man in motion. Williams to throw on first. Dump off caught by his back. And he gets leveled just before he reaches the marker, and that hit prevents a first down.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
From the 38. He's got it over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. The Bears decide to call their first time out. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on second down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about third down at all.
New set of downs for him from the 46. First down, Williams. Hits his running back. Head out of bounds after a small gain.
Kid, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, Williams. That one's complete, right side. And he'll get this through the midfield stripe and starts pushing into Vikings territory. Timeout Chicago. It uses its second. still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Throwing now, 3rd and 2. That one's cut along the left sideline. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. Now just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense. And they can try for some points going into the break. Only time left for one more snap, Brock, so they're going to run out their field goal unit. This is a chip shot from the left hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Back from the break, I'm Kate Scott, joined by Brock Heward, and we are just moments away from the beginning of our second half. Now Camarda on to send it away. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
Can't cover it much better than that. Really well covered, Kate, on that play. There just simply was not a window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That one's complete over the middle. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
Third and a lone yard coming up. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. Complete beyond the marker. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. Working quickly here. Back to the air, McCarthy. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. And that'll bring up second down. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
Man in motion here. Second and 10, McCarthy. Throw reeled in by London. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Third down, 1 yard to go. Rice, the motion man right. Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
You know, Kate, we see this all the time at every level of football. You've got to catch it first. It's just like when a receiver receives a handoff. You've got to secure the ball, then let your athleticism take off.
Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. They'll run for this. And he works this to the 38 before going down. Offense in the hurry up here. Here's a give up the middle. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
Third and 10. Can this offense get it done? Here's McCarthy to throw. Finds his back complete. And that will not be enough for a first down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, when you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Hauled in by Rice. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Moving quickly, try to get set again.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
First and 10, here's McCarthy. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
And he just got it away before the hit, but the pass winds up incomplete. It's going to be third down.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we called them alligators. One alligator, two alligator, three alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
McCarthy throwing on third down. He has the first over the middle. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of third downs just like that.
This throw is caught. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. Offense up to the line fast. And the defense gets there to force a small loss. A dose of the hurry-up offense here. Throwing on third, McCarthy. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And that'll bring up 4th and 3.
You know, that is so hard to do. That's called body control. Great positioning to swat the ball away, not go through the receiver, no penalty flag. He's got the body control and, more importantly, the timing to knock that ball away.
So the Vikings sending out the field goal team here. A very short kick here from the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And the gap closes to 14 points.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
The Vikings have it teed up, and play resumes with the kick. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Thrown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's brought down after a nice run and some extra effort. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have 2nd and 2 next.
Hey, look, Kate, you can't just ask one tackler to go mano-a-mano and stop this guy. You got to have the cavalry coming. One guy makes a hit, the others are there to clean up and pile on, because one-on-one, he's going to bring it right through you.
And he'll get them enough for a first down.
You know what I like about a 2nd and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play-action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
1st and 10 from the 41. Now here's Williams. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Trying again following the sack. Chased out to his right. That one falls incomplete and brings us to the end of this 3rd quarter. Only 1 quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the 3rd. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a 2-score game to begin the 4th. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Working from the gun, Williams has his man. It's a Dunze. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. Well, most drives should end right there, but they beat the defense and convert on 3rd and 17.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Simple dive up the middle. And they take him down right along the 30. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's good for a Bears 1st down. Another carry for him. And they make the tackle at the 28-yard line. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Williams from the gun. Finds a man right side. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's a Chicago 1st down.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He can take it to the house.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Hand off to the back. And good tackle, but a flag is down, likely against the defense. Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach. A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on 1st down. Running it after the penalty. And he gets absolutely pumped to end that one. Nothing on 1st and 5. That brings up 2nd down.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, they got him tackled behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
They give it to him again. And that's a huge hit there, but he's still able to power through enough for a 1st and goal.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
Going ground on 1st and goal. And he's brought down for a loss.
There's just no question about it. He has the license to adapt a little bit, to diagnose plays because they trust his instincts. And there, well, it was all on display. Expert-level diagnosis going on to see a potential run and get in position to stop it behind the line.
After the loss, it's 2nd and goal from the 5. They give it to him up the middle. And the hit stuffs him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. Stuffed once again, and now suddenly they're left with 3rd and goal.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. You continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
Third and goal, it's Williams. Escapes the pocket. And he's tackled for no gain. The Vikings call a timeout. It'll be their first. They still have 2 to work with in this final quarter. Out now are the special teamers to try a Bears field goal. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that makes this a 3-score game.
I think you could call this one now, Kate. His field goal makes it a 3-score game, and even the most improbable comeback attempts are going to have a hard time erasing that type of deficit here in the final quarter.
And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Now McCarthy. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Motioning him from the slot right. McCarthy trying again on 2nd down. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Bears take over on his 11th interception of the campaign.
Well, it takes great reactionary time, great intuition, spatial awareness to get a pick out of the slot, and he should be applauded for his effort.
He loses the football. It's picked out by the Vikings, coming the other way. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover.
Hey, Kate, these last few minutes make me want to look away. And a really rough series of events here for an old retired quarterback to watch.
Wish you could see him up here. All these turnovers not doing it for you, partner?
Well, the interception, I mean, start there. But immediately then fumbling the ball right back over, that's none too good either. And they know they just fumbled away a critical opportunity.
It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And it'll bring up a Minnesota first down. They're set up at the 35 now. Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. A quick throw is swatted away, incomplete. Could not beat the defender there. And now it's 2nd down.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
2nd and 10 now. Got a man, it's London. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. It's the 2-minute warning here in Minneapolis. Vikings trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. Third and 6 for them to figure out now. Throwing from the gun here. Has him on the quick hitter. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. Keeping that pace going as the clock continues to run. After the sack, another pass on second down. Has it down close. And that's a Minnesota touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
So even after the score, they're still down 2 possessions. Time not exactly on their side as they try this onside kick. Oh, the Vikings got to it first. They get it back. Timing's so important for a team to recover its own onside kick, but jumped the gun there before it went 10 yards, and that drew the flag. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again. Minnesota spends its second time out here. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
This drive in jeopardy. Here's a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Williams. He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed. Geno Stone picks it off. And they get a touchdown. Defense scores and gives them some small hope here. Went to the Orwell one too many times, Brock, and this time the defense was ready for it.
Now, you make as many catches as he has in this game, you're going to attract some extra attention. They knew it was probably going his way in the near future. They had somebody there waiting for it that time.
That one splits the uprights. And the Vikings cut it to a field goal game. It all comes down to this, partner. 30 seconds left down to score. They have to get this football back. And the Bears get this kick. And that spells the end of this ball game. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. Into the victory formation they go, Brock, here on 1st down. Going to be a victory for the Bears as they drop to a knee here.
They could stop the clock now if they choose. In the final moments of the game, every second counts. If you're going to call a timeout, you want to be right next to that official to signal it in just as that knee goes down.
Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee. So the Bears take this one on the road. And with the start they had in that first quarter, Brock, it is no surprise to see them come away with a victory at the end. They really did all they could to put this out of reach early. That does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. With my partner in the booth, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Bears winners as we bid you farewell from Minneapolis.